Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Prastio Diki Julian and my metric number is 260472. Today I would like to present my individual assignment in credit risk management with title The Determinant of Credit Risk in Maybank Malaysia. So for the introduction, Maybank was established in 1960 and is now the largest company by market capitalization on the Malaysia. Malayan Banking Berhad, better known as Maybank, is Malaysia's largest financial service group. It is ranked first among listed Malaysian companies and among the top 500 companies in the Forbes Global 2000 list of the world's leading companies. The next is literature review. The first is credit risk. Credit risk is the probability of a loss arising from the inability of the borrower to repay the loan or satisfy contractual obligation. Liquidity risk is the capacity of a firm, a corporation, or even an entity to pay their debts without experiencing severe loss. Profitability risk is defined as cost and revenue of the firm that determines whether or not the firm is profiting that allows firm to forecast the profitability. Leverage is central to the banking industry, and to put it plainly, banks are highly leveraged entities that facilitate leverage for others. It is the proportion of companies' assets that are funded by borrowings rather than equity. Inflation rate. Inflation rate is described as the gradual decline in the purchasing power of a given currency. The next is methodology. For the sampling technique, we use secondary data which gather from Maybank annual report from 2015 to 2019. The statistical technique we use from variable analysis through SPSS software. And data analysis is the DV credit risk, the IV is internal, external, and internal-external factors. The IBM SPSS version that I use is the SPSS version 20. The next one is the finding analysis. The first is descriptive statistics. Based on the table above, the credit risk shows a mean of 0.03, which indicate that the probability of the borrower defaulting on the loan is only 0.03. The credit risk standard deviation is 0.008, which implies low volatility. The leverage recorded a mean 0.2, and the standard deviation is 0.26. The RSEC or risk sectors show a mean of 0.45 and the standard deviation is 0.08, which is considered as low volatility. The next is risk-weighted assets. A mean is 0.06 and the standard deviation is 0.02, which imply low volatility. The mean of debt-equity ratio is 9.41 and its standard deviation is 0.458, which implies low volatility. The next is the ROA recorded a mean of 0.9, indicating that it is less efficient in using its asset to generate income because it implies that with every 1 ringgit of asset, it will generate 0.27 of net income. The ROA standard deviation is 0.03, which implies low volatility. The GDP growth mean shown 4.7, while the SD or standard deviation is 0.38. The next is correlation analysis. Based on the table, it represents that any change in leverage will give the same impact to the credit risk because it's shown that leverage is 0.669 and it is positively correlated, and the significant correlation is 0.909. Based on the number, it is not significant to the DV because it is more than 0.10. Another variable is RSEC or risk sector. The percent correlation variable is 0.912. That indicates there are positive correlation to the credit risk, and the significant value is 0.016, which means that it is significant to the credit risk. The next is recap. For the percent correlation is 0.771, which is positively correlated, and the significant value is 0.063, which means that it's very significant to credit risk. And based on table given, there are RWA or risk weighted asset. It's 0.656 that it's minus 0.656 that is a negatively correlation with credit risk, and the significant value is significant correlation is 0.115. The number is we know that these are not significantly correlated because it's more than 0.10. And another is DER or debt to equity ratio. The percent correlation is 0.571 and it is positively correlated, and the significant score is 0.157. It's shown that it is not significant to the DV or current ratio. The credit risk. Another is the TAR, or we know it's debt to asset ratio. The score is, for percent correlation, the score is 0.597, which is positively correlated, and the significant correlation is 0.144. The number is illustrated not significantly because it's more than 0.10. Another variable is shown is ROA. Percent correlation is 0.820 is minus 0.820, that indicate that there are negatively correlation with credit risk of the company, and the significant value is 0.045, which means that it is significant to the DV. For the external factor, there are GDP, inflation rate, NM3, and output cap. For the GDP, the percent correlation is 0.46 and it is positively correlated, but the significant correlation is 0.21. We know that it's not significantly correlated. And for the inflation rate, the percent correlation is 0.7, which is positively correlated, and the significant value is 0.073, which means that the inflation rate is significant to credit risk. For the M3, we know from the analysis, we know that the score is 0.90. Minus 0.90, that indicates there are negative correlation, but the significant value is 0.018. And we know that it is significant to credit risk. The next is model summary. For the model summary, the first model is internal. The R value is 0.999, and the predictor also have the R square value is 0.997. For the Durbin-Watson of this model is recorded at 0.402, which show that negative autocorrelation, because normally the Durbin-Watson only from 1 to 3 only. For the external, the predictors are with the R value is 0.9, and the predictors also have R square is 0.817, and the Durbin-Watson is 2.186, which shown autocorrelation. Next is NFV table. For the internal, the model has significant value which is equals to 0.003. We know it's very low, and we know from this the ANOVA is for the internal is very significant to the value because it is very low below very below than 0.1. For the external, the model has the significant value which is p value is equals to 0.035. We know it's very significant because the value is below 0.1. For the internal external of the table is the model has the significant value which is p value is equal to 0.003, and the reading value p values is significant because the value is below than 0.1. The next is coefficient analysis. From the first model, the standard coefficient beta, t value and p value will be analyzed, and the significant level of all this is 0.025, 0.002, 0.010, and the t value is at minus 4.181 and minus 21.292 and minus 10.080. For the external, the standard coefficient the significance level is 0.035 and the t value is recorded at minus 3.656. For the internal external, the significance level all of this is 0.025 and 0.002, 0.010. So for the the next is the recommendation, and for the recommendation, the credit risk is determine the percentage of credit risk experienced by the companies. So therefore, I would like to give some suggestion for the companies in order to control the credit risk is to minimize the lender's credit risk. The lender can because the lender can conduct a credit check on the prospective borrower, enable the borrower to purchase suitable insurance such as mortgage insurance or obtain protection over some of the borrower asset or a third party guarantee. So that's all from me. Thank you. Thank you Dr. Wai Ibrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.